Hi techies, welcome back to Quantum Mindset. Today we're sharing why Python virtual environment for all of you who are building Python apps just for fun. Whether you're a hobbyist or a serious learner, this guide will cover everything from creating and managing virtual environment, handling different Python versions, to real-life use cases. All right, so let's kick things off with the basics. What exactly is virtual environment? You've probably faced issues when installing pip packages across different projects, right? Well, a virtual environment in Python is the solution. Think of it as your project's own sandbox, a completely isolated space where you can manage dependencies and libraries without affecting any other project or your global Python setup. Why should you use virtual environment? I'll tell you. It avoids conflicts between project dependencies. You can use different Python versions for different projects. It keeps your global Python environment neat and clean. And it enables reproducibility, which is super useful when you want to make sure everyone working on the project has the exact same setup. Now, let's visualize this concept. Here's a look at how this works. At the top, we have the global Python environment with the interpreter and global packages that are shared across your system. Below that, each project has its own isolated virtual environment with a different version of Python and libraries like Flask or Django. Each project stays completely independent from the others. Neat, right? So how do we create and manage Venv? Let's break it down.
First, to create a virtual environment, run this command. This creates a folder called myaff/, which holds a clean Python environment just for your project. To activate the environment, on Windows, run. On Linux or Mac OS, run. Example. Run command, pip install Flask. When you're done, just deactivate the environment with deactivate. Inside the Venv folder, you'll find a few key things. This is where the Python binary and executables live. Lib, where all your installed packages are stored. Include, which contains headers needed for building packages. For two projects, you can create two new virtual environments and install two different versions of Python. This way, you can easily work on two projects, each with its own version of Python and libraries like Flask or Django. Next up, let's talk about sharing and reproducing environments. When you're working with a team or deploying to production, you need to ensure the environment can be recreated easily. That's where requirements.txt comes in. To generate one, just run pip freeze requirements.txt. And to install dependencies from the requirements.txt, simply run pip install r requirements.txt. This makes sure that the new environment will have exactly the same versions of the packages as your development environment. Super handy, right? Let's run through some best practices. Always use Venv for every project to avoid dependency conflicts. Use requirements.txt to easily replicate environments. Don't check the Venv folder into version control. Use gitignore to exclude it. Use specific Python versions for different projects if necessary. And always deactivate your environment when you're done to avoid confusion. And there you have it. With virtual environments, you can manage dependencies, versions, and environments like a pro, keeping everything organized and conflict-free. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy coding.